Good morning, boys and girls. This morning we are going to work on our fluency, and we're going to tie our fluency back into what we've been reading about those famous space dogs and about Coco the gorilla. And Coco, what was it that was so amazing that Coco could do? Yeah, she could communicate with sign language. So I found this really cool poem about the germ, and the germ is pretty amazing too. So we're going to kind of tie it into the stories we've been working on. We're going to use this poem to practice our fluency because poetry is a great way to practice how we read and our tone and our pace, okay? So we're going to use this poem, The Germ by Ogden Nash. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll like it. Before we get started though, there are some words in this poem that I want us to practice and kind of front load our vocabulary, okay? So look over here at my anchor chart. This first word is pachyderm. Say it. Pachyderm. The word is pachyderm. Say it. Pachyderm. And a pachyderm is an elephant. Okay, so when we see the word pachyderm, you're going to think of an elephant. Good. Our next word is customary. Say it. Customary. Our word is customary. Say it. Customary. And customary means it's just pretty plain, average, typical, regular. So think about your uniforms that you wear to school. This one is customary. This one is not customary, okay? We would not see someone coming in a plaid shirt and some striped shorts, and that would just not be customary, okay? So when we see the word customary, we're going to think of typical, regular, average, just kind of plain. Dwelling. What's our word? Dwelling. Good. And a dwelling is where something lives, okay? So our dwelling as people could be in a house, it could be an apartment, maybe you live in a trailer. There are different places that we live. Birds, what is their dwelling? A nest. Good. Birds dwell in a nest. So when we see the word dwelling, we're going to think about where we live. Good. Okay. The last one is pride. Okay? And pride is that feeling you get when you feel really good about something. It's a feeling of pleasure because you've done something really good. Okay? So when we think of pride, we're going to think of something we did really well. So here we see a student that got an A+. She's feeling a lot of pride. Okay, so when we see this word, pride, we're going to think about something really good. So let's review one more time. What was our first word? Pachyderm. Pachyderm. Good. The next one? Good. The next one? Dwelling. Good. And the last one? Pride. Good job. All right. So let's get started on our poem. Now when we read the poem, first time we read it, I'm actually going to read it to you. I'm going to model correct fluency, and I want you guys to follow along on my chart, okay? My reason for reading it to you is it's important that you hear how the poem sounds when it's read correctly, and you kind of see some words that you maybe don't recognize, but you can hear them read fluently. It's also going to let you kind of start to think, what is this poem all about, okay? As we work with this poem, I want you to think, what is this poem about, and what is so amazing about the germ? Okay? All right, so watch as I read. The Germ by Ogden Nash. A mighty creature is the germ, though smaller than a pachyderm. His customary dwelling place is deep within the human race. His childish pride he often pleases by giving people strange diseases. Think about that for a minute. What on earth did that mean? Well, we're going to continue to read it, and as we read it, I want you to think about what are we reading, okay? All right, guys, so you just heard me fluently read the germ for you. But now, in order for you all to practice reading it, we're going to do what's called phrase reading, okay? So with phrase reading, I've actually gone ahead and I have chunked the poem into smaller parts, okay? This is a lot to read, but now we can just look at where these red lines are and break it down. When we read a big passage, it makes it easier if we chunk into smaller pieces because we can find the rhythm and it helps us to better understand, okay? So here's how we're going to read this. I will read a mighty creature. Then you will read Good, just like that. We're going to echo read, okay? So we're going to take it nice and slow, piece by piece. The Germ by Ogden Nash.
The Germ by Ogden Nash.
Very good. I like your tone and volume. Here we go. A mighty creature.
A mighty creature.
Is the germ.
Is the germ.
Though smaller than.
Though smaller than.
A pachyderm.
A pachyderm.
His customary.
His customary.
Dwelling place.
Dwelling place.
Is deep within.
Is deep within.
The human race.
The human race.
His childish pride.
His childish pride.
He often pleases.
He often pleases.
By giving people.
By giving people.
Strange diseases.
Strange diseases.
Good job. So think about what you just read. Did something start to make more sense as we slowed it down and phrased a little bit? Make a little more sense. You're starting to understand what's so amazing about the germ. Starting to figure out what this poem's about. We getting there? Good. Okay. So for our next piece, we're actually going to do bigger chunks. All right, guys, we just did our phrase reading. Now we're going to phrase with bigger chunks. We're actually going to read a full line. So this is going to be one or two of these phrase pieces, okay? So instead of just reading one, a mighty creature, I'm going to read the entire phrase, okay? A mighty creature is the germ.
A mighty creature is the germ.
Good, so we're going to do it just like that. So did that make a little more sense? Instead of just saying a mighty creature is the germ, now we know what's the mighty creature. The germ. A mighty creature is the germ. Good, so we're going to read it that way. Ready? We're going to echo. The Germ by Ogden Nash.
The Germ by Ogden Nash.
All right, here we go. We're going to do longer phrases. A mighty creature is the germ.
A mighty creature is the germ.
Though smaller than a pachyderm.
Though smaller than a pachyderm.
Good. His customary dwelling place.
His customary dwelling place.
Is deep within the human race.
Is deep within the human race.
His childish pride he often pleases.
His childish pride he often pleases.
By giving people strange diseases.
By giving people strange diseases.
Good job. Okay, so now let's talk about it. Now we've read these longer phrases. So I have a question. We answered, what's the mighty creature?
A germ.
A germ. Good, but he's smaller than a?
Pachyderm.
Good. And where does he live?
In
the human race. What does that mean? Think about that as we continue reading. What does it mean if it lives in the human race? Think about what you know about germs and think about that line. He lives deep within the human race. Think about that. Turn to a partner and talk about what you think that means. So what do you think that means? What do you think that means if he lives deep in the human race? Where did he live? On his own, but where? What would be his home? Okay, yeah, you think maybe he lives inside people in the body? Okay. What did you girls talk about? Where do you think he lives?
Like in different countries.
And he lives in people? Do you think that's where germs live? Have you ever heard about germs living in people before? Yeah. What do germs do in people?
Like they try to like make you sick.
Yeah.
Make you feel better.
Good job. All right, guys, let's come on back. So, thumbs up if you can tell me where that dwelling place is for a germ. What is that dwelling place? Right here? In the body. They dwell in the body. Good. So let's think about, I want you guys as we read it the last time, his childish pride he often pleases by giving people strange diseases. Think about what we know about pride. Pride is a feeling you feel really good because you did something, right? If it's childish pride, okay, maybe he's kind of, it's a playful pride. But what is he doing? He's eating strange diseases. Okay, good. So now we're going to get ready to read it fluently. Okay, guys? All right, guys, you've done a great job. We have gone through, we've listened to the whole poem fluently. We have phrase read, and we've done the full sentences. So now what we're going to do is we're going to read the full poem, okay? Thumbs up if you think you're ready to read it fluently, independently. Good, this will be our 4th time reading it. So we're going to take it at a nice pace. I want you to use that good inflection that we've been practicing as we phrase read. And I want you to think again, because after this we're going to answer the question, what is this whole poem about? And what is so special about the germ, okay? So, are you all ready to read? Yes. Okay, good. Ready, go.
The germ by Alden Day.
Good.
A mighty creature is the germ, though smaller than a pachyderm. His customary dwelling place is deep within the human race. His childish pride he often pleases by giving people strange diseases.
That was so great. I loved hearing that fluent reading. I heard some inflection and some tone. That was really good. I also loved how you guys were able to just plow right through some of these challenging words like pachyderm. You did a great job, guys. All right, so here's what I want you to do. Listen to my question. What is the theme or the meaning of this poem? What is it all about? What did we learn, okay? Remember from your anchor chart, we know theme is what the story or the central message, it's what it's about, okay? So what did we learn about the germ? I want you to talk to a partner at your table and discuss what was this about. So I have a question. What kind of diseases is the germ giving? What does the poem say? What kind of diseases? The germ is giving a disease, but what kind? Look at it. Not strong disease. Strange disease. Have you all had the flu this season? The flu is caused by germs, right? Good. Yeah, so sometimes we have to get shots to keep the germs away. Good job. All right, let's come back. Let's talk about this, guys. So what was this poem about? Someone raise your hand if you're ready to tell me. What was this poem about? The germ, and what does the germ do? Can you give me some more detail there? Yes, so the germ is giving people strange diseases. And at the group I talked with up here, we talked about what's one of the diseases, a strange disease that germs can give. What did we talk about?
The flu.
The flu. And sometimes we maybe will get the flu shot to keep the germs from getting a strange disease to us. Good job. So we've talked about that the germ gives people these strange diseases, but what's so fascinating about that? What's so special about the fact that the germ gives these strange diseases? Tell me something about the germ that we learned from the poem. What is special about the germ? It gives these strange diseases, but tell me a feature of the germ. Think about it, a characteristic. I like that I'm seeing people look back at the poem. Good. In the back. What's so special about it, though?
Yeah, it is so small, but it can give people big disease and it can spread it around.
Yes, perfect. So it's so tiny. The germ is so tiny, but it's able to take all kinds of people down with these strange diseases. Good job. So, tying it back, we talked about those amazing space dogs. We talked about that amazing Gorilla Coco. What is so amazing about the germ? It spreads around, and what else does it do? It gets people sick, even though it is what? So small. You guys did a great job reading this. I love that you're understanding the poem. You guys did awesome. Thank you.